Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stand Up Speakeasy. I'm Sarath Nay, and every episode I bring a comic from coast to coast. And on this special guest, my special guest tonight is Nolan Kreeger. How are you, Nolan?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm so glad I got to catch up with you and all that good stuff. And I'm so happy we get to share the stage again. It's been a long time.
It's been what I think 4 years since the last time we saw each other.
I think so. Yep, in Florida.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a cool night. That was a
Awesome.
lot of fun. It was. I think it was Billy Myers and some people did a show, and then it was the open mic afterwards.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. I was
And
like, I
he's
think
doing
that's what
so
it
many great
was.
things at the Comedy Store. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
dude,
think
it's
I
wild.
can't remember. Gosh,
Hmm?
yeah, the way our comedy journeys have taken us is just bonkers. It's like you going to Yellow Springs for a while, and that's where Dave Chappelle's at. Did you ever run into him?
A couple of times, yeah. Uh, there was one
Wow.
time I was sitting out back at a coffee shop, and he came strolling up and just cool as a cucumber. And I just kind of gave him the "what's up" nod, like I know who you are, but I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. And he's all right, thank you. And that was it. That was the extent of the interaction.
Wow, that's pretty neat. Yeah, celebrities don't like if you notice them, then it's cool, And I used to be in LA, and so there, yeah, I totally get the whole thing. Yep,
Yeah. Well, I remember
awesome
at
stuff.
Universal, they would when I worked at Universal Studios, they would give us like a whole like celebrity training speech, like just treat them like any other person. They're normal people. They aren't when they're here, they're not famous. And like if they tell you to do something, you can do it, but like don't go up and ask them for autographs and stuff. So it was kind of like I kind of feel that in my like normal life if I come across, because I'm always, walking into celebrities. Um, but it's like just be chill. That's a person. Which I actually said that to Jackie Cation's face once. I got to meet her after a show, and I was just freaking out. I was so starstruck, and I was like, and I like I'm standing there like foot, like just shoulder to shoulder with her, like, calm down, Nolan. She's a person just like you. She's just been in the game longer. That's all. But it's like you get excited. These people seem bigger than life, and you're like, I gotta make a mark somehow.
Indeed. Yeah, I went to the Universal like a couple like earlier in June because like my friend Joe Lavecchi, he's a comedian in Daytona. He goes, I got an extra ticket to go see Jim Jeffries. I need someone to go see him with me at the Hard Rock Live. And then we get there, and I'm like, we got a park, and there was so much walking and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't know how people can have an annual pass. This is just crazy.
Oh, they go every day. They've got their
Yeah.
plan. They've got a whole system in line. Like theme park people are a different breed. Um, it's wild, but it's cool. They kind of like they make the job fun. They kind of feel like they even though like this is what they're doing with their not like what they're doing with their lives, but it's a lot of the times like with theme park people like they feel like part of the community. Sometimes we get inside jokes that only the people who been around long enough they're going to get those kind of things.
Indeed. I think when I went there last, I'm like, I gotta work on my cardio because I love these walking sidewalks. I wish there was them. They were there everywhere.
Oh, I tell you, Denver needs to invest
Awesome.
in the
So you're a
walking
stand-up
sidewalks.
comedian, so oh yeah, those are lifesavers.
Looks like we got a bit of a delay.
I don't know what else to call them. Yeah, indeed. I think it might be my connection,
Eh.
but yeah, you're a stand-up comedian, actor, and improviser too. So what got you into all those three things?
Oh gosh. Well, the first time I ever got involved in theater, my friend was doing a acting camp, and I wanted to hang out with my friend for the summer, so I signed up for it too. And I ended up getting the lead in Wizard of Oz, so I kind of got hooked from there. It was a lot of fun, and I definitely I like the energy of being on stage. I like interacting with a crowd and audience. I like bringing up ideas that maybe people aren't uh, they're not at the front of their mind. And that's a fun thing you can do in the theater. You can do it. I definitely do it in improv. I try to, you know, poke in as much anarchist philosophy as I can into scenes. You know, but I think that's just from watching too much Brennan Lee Mulligan. And but yeah, I took acting classes, you know, throughout my life, and then I took improv classes. But it wasn't until I took a stand up class from Ali Flores in at the at SAC Comedy Lab in Orlando, and that really kind of solidified this thing that I was chasing. Like I've always been a performer, I've always been an entertainer, but it wasn't until I hit stand up that I was like, oh, this is like something I can do. It really clicked. If there's a lot of freedom in stand up, you have all of the control because it's just you up there, which is also what makes it the hardest thing to do and terrifying. Like I like improv because you know it's like I'm up there, I'm playing, I'm having fun, I'm doing a game with my friends. Whereas improv is just like, okay, I gotta make sure at least 50 people in this room understand what I'm saying and agree.
Indeed. Yes, and
Yep, yep.
and speaking of Ali Flores, like I see him like every single week, like every single Sunday, because he teaches a class where I live. But I
Oh,
go
cool.
for the open mic, and he put on like Facebook group like in Orlando. He's like, "Who would you like to have you feature for?" And then I was like one of the comics. He tagged me. He was like, "I want to follow Sreth," and I'm like, "Well, I want to follow you." It's like it's so cool. Like, I didn't even get nominated by anyone else in like the scenes, and he just threw my name out there. So that was nice of him.
Oh man, he believes in you. You know, that's he's not gonna just throw your name out there as a gaff. Like, he's yeah, he's an important. He's like a I don't know, man. Like his teaching style and his just like way of being. You know, everybody's welcome. You know, the only thing he's not going to tolerate is intolerance, and I really respect the guy.
Oh yeah, same here. And it's funny you said that because there was this lady that was just talking and talking like all day, like during his set because he opened up the open mic, and he goes, "Well, I have a cup of shut the f up just for you."
Oh yeah, like he's a teddy bear, but he's still got claws. Like don't mess with the guy.
Yeah, it was so great. And then he drew my name out, and I'm like, "This was like meant to be" because I just followed him, and he was my feature. So it was just for like 5 minutes, but it was awesome. Yep.
Oh.
So yeah, after a decade, you were in the entertaining theme park goers and entertaining them, and also at the theater aficionados in Orlando, Florida. And so I took all this stuff off your bio on your website, which is in the description box below. Because I'm like, I'm such a horrible at editing in my head. I'm just gonna read it out loud. But
Oh
yeah,
gosh.
so like after you worked
Yeah.
at the Universal Studios, like or when you worked there, like what other comics did you see that was just your coworkers out there?
Oh my gosh. Looking back, I knew more comedians than I realized. The one that probably most everybody probably knows is Ross Paget. Funny guy, you know, very sharp intellect. Um, who else was there that was doing comedy? There's a couple of people from my horror nights from doing Halloween horror nights that I know was in the scene, but I'm totally blanking on their name, and I'm so sorry if you happen to ever see this video. This person I'm thinking of have a more memorable name, I guess. Uh, no, he was a cool guy. Who else? Who else? Because there's so many people there, and there's so many amazing like people who like improvisers that had come up through SAC and were you know their full time job was being funny at the theme parks, and they're making a living and they're making a career and they're supporting their families off of it. And uh, I just remember like being in SAC and seeing their pictures on the wall and be like, oh my gosh, I was cool. I'm trying Robin Kelly Peretti. Oh gosh, I'm probably butchering her name, but she's amazing. Um, was Patrick there? I don't know, but yeah, you could have asked me any other question. You could ask me to do math, but ask me to remember people's names. I'm like, oh no, I don't have this.
Indeed, I don't blame you. Yeah, like Ross Padgett, he's like one of my favorites, and like whenever like I saw him, like he calls me legend, and I'm like, well, you're the legend. Like everyone knows who you are. Then he goes, but you're like the Nardwar of the Florida scene, because like you interviewed all of us, and I'm like, I know there's like 1,000 Florida interviews of comedians just on my YouTube channel alone. And like
Oh.
Dwayne Williams was also working at the Universal. I'm not sure if you worked with him.
Oh my God, I did. Yes, we worked on the same show. We were both fish for SpongeBob. Oh man, dude,
uh,
you know what, man? Dwayne's really cool. When I first started out, we ran into each other, I think, at not Cop. What's the one downtown? The Harry Buffalo. We ran into each other at Harry Buffalo, and he actually gave me a piece of paper, a little notebook thing, and they were all joke prompts. They were like things to like when he's because we got to talking about writing. He's like whenever he's trying to write and trying to figure out what he like, trying to come up with material. He goes with the answers these questions and kind of keeps writing and writing until he finds the funny. And I thought that was just like the coolest thing because me and him we had some beef back in the day, but like to be that supportive to somebody, I really respect him for that.
Indeed. Yep, I feel you. There's a lot of comedy beefs, but if we I have some beefs on my own, and I'm like, it wasn't my fault. It's like you brought it on to yourself.
Oh yeah.
I know.
It's always ended up something so petty too. It's always something that it's like, does any of this matter? Like we are Orlando comics. We're fine.
Exactly. That's how I feel. So I'm like, whenever I don't like someone, I just walk away from them. Like, I'll just have the universe deal with them. Okay. And I just walk away. Yep, and I think your phone your camera's stuck, Nolan, so you're like frozen.
Oh no, hi, I'm back. was I
Recall.
was it frozen on the silliest face possible?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent. But
Oh.
if you play it back, you'll see where it's at. So 12:20 mark, I think. And so yeah, you found your way to into Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. What made you move to Ohio from Orlando?
Oh, pardon me. Um, it was time to get out of Florida, and my spouse, he's got family up there, so we moved up there for that. Um, I stutter on the why because they say I moved up there for my family or for his family. But actually, the reason I'm in Colorado now is we just separated. So I was like, I'm still navigating the language. That's like it's kind of like when somebody's like like a family member dies and they still talk about him in the present. Like I haven't figured out how to navigate that yet.
Ah, I feel like
Yeah,
that it takes time for sure. So
yeah.
yeah.
But no, I loved Ohio. Ohio, it really like opened its arms to me. I fell in love. I really fell in love with improv there. Like I started at SAC, but Black Box was like I don't know. I think because it was a smaller theater, it I really felt like I was part of the community there. And the Dayton comedy scene, it's scrappy. It's a lot of sad white dudes, but then there's some real diamonds there. Layla Engels, she blew up on TikTok and now she's going around all around. She's amazing. She's the sweetest person in the world, and I love like she's funny. She's funny as hell. Uh, Joel Beeman, I think, is getting some bigger moves out there. Who else came out of Dayton? There's like we just actually just had a bunch of our like Caleb with the P Lee was just on Kill Tony and apparently did enough to get Dayton on the map because it was that bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
but
my,
I love he's fun. Mhm.
that's so neat. I was hoping you would still live out there because I was like, still planning on doing like that little run. But yeah, I'm thinking about taking Bryce DeMuth with me, and he was on Orlando. Did you do stand up with him, Bryce?
I don't think we crossed paths. No.
Oh, indeed. I was thinking about calling it the Bag of Dicks tour, DIX, so we can do Dayton, Indianapolis, and Xenia, Ohio.
That's why you were asking for the names. That's funny.
Yes. So
Oh.
definitely. try and do a day in Indianapolis and Xenia, Ohio, and definitely swing by Yellow Springs since they're all close by. I think so. I found a bus ticket for like $22 on Greyhound, so from
Oh, nice.
Indianapolis to Dayton, so something
Oh,
like that.
that's really nice. Yeah.
Hmm. I've been on a date Greyhound before, so they're not that bad. You just got to keep to yourself
Yeah. That's kind of how
sometimes.
everything is though. Like, I don't know. I wish we as a culture were more willing to utilize buses and public transport in general. But it's like that. It's like, oh, you just got to keep to yourself. And it's like if more people were taking the bus, then you statistically even out with how many weirdos are on the bus.
Yeah. Indeed, and I love public transportation. Like when I like visit Chicago, it's like you got to take all
Mm,
forms of public transportation. It's just so fun. Yeah,
yeah. That's
indeed.
why I one of the things I love so much about Denver is the public transportation. The It's not the greatest one in the country. I mean, Chicago, Atlanta, like definitely have bigger systems, but eh, it's enough to at least like slow down how alleviate how much you're driving. Um, and the trains, as my experience, have always been on time. I mean, I guess I can't say always because I've been on for maybe like 10 rides, but still, like that feels like a lot.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
As for the
I'll go on
buses,
my,
not
go
so
ahead.
much. As for the buses, not
Yeah.
so much. Like they used to call when I went to Chicago, they would call it when it was like November, January sometimes, and they would call it like the ghost bus. Like sure, it says it's coming, but it's not coming. It's just
Oh,
it's so freezing out there too. So yeah. But
that's
eventually, I'll move to Gurnee, Illinois, and just deal with it. That's my. I want to go there because it's between Milwaukee and Chicago, and stuff like that. It's just I want to live somewhere in the Midwest that's not Austin because it's just there's too many comedians in Austin. And then coming up in October is gonna be like my last stand-ups ever. I'm like, I just want to play Kubert, get off social media, and just not deal with like downloadable content on video games. It just brings me more joy. I think so.
yeah.
And 12 years is enough for me. So
Yeah, it's a long time for a hobby that takes so much without really giving much back. Um, that and it's smart. It's better to realize when you're done and to walk away while you still love it, rather than to try to like keep hanging on and getting bitter about it. Like there's so many people like I've been in this game forever. I'm like, yeah, and you still only play in Hamilton County. Uh,
yeah.
like maybe lower your expectations. Just I do it for the fun of it. There's no high like it. There's no rush. Like even when you're bombing, like it's still like I still want to be there. Yeah, 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 yeah. But that's also why I'm grateful that I can do if I get when I like if if stand up is too much, I can go and do improv for a while. If improv is getting frustrating, I can go do there's so much clowning out here in Denver. Why is there like everybody's got a clown workshop? And I love it. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to take all of the clown classes.
Oh, that's so awesome. Denver is so much fun. I was there on July 4th actually for Independence Day. I
Oh,
went and played I went to Greenwood Village and I went and played at the one up to get like a Qbert score and I ended up getting like 10th through 23rd because everyone else was just way too high for me. And then right after I went and saw the Wu-Tang Clan and Run the Jewels.
oh my God. Was that just face melting?
Oh yeah, it was so fun. I had my VIP lanyard and everything, and like young dirty bastard walked up to me or like I saw him, and then like I asked him for a photo, because celebrity talk, calling back to that, and he said yeah, and then he charged everyone else money because he kind of recognized me from Second St. Augustine, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's been like years since I last saw him, so that was pretty
Oh,
awesome.
that's wild. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
and everyone was there in attendance because their last tour, so I was pretty excited.
I found out about it the day after, and I was bummed.
Oh, yep. I got my tickets like way months in advance. I'm like, I'm not gonna miss this for the world, especially in Colorado where everyone's smoking and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Oh, can I tell you that's how I feel about the upcoming Primus show at Red Rocks?
Oh, I love
Like,
Primus.
yeah. Oh wait,
Yep.
that's tomorrow. Shit.
Oh wow, pretty awesome. I bet you can't wait to go.
Oh no, well I didn't get tickets, so
Oh,
I'm gonna I'm gonna go ride a funicular tomorrow instead.
oh no, that's not fun. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
You don't know what it's a train that goes up a mountain.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
I rode one at Manitou or the Pikes Peak Incline. They take you up
Okay,
there
I think
too.
that might be it. That might be the one that we're doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. They're fun, and you get lost in the clouds while you're up there. It's great.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
excited. I haven't been on a funicular. Well, okay, no, I was about to tell a lie. I was going to say the last time I was on funicular was in Germany, but the last time I was actually on a funicular was in Greater Smoky National Park. No, wait, it's the one right outside it. I the caffeine is kicking in.
They should put one on Mount Everest. It'll be like easier to climb.
Right though? We don't have to like send all those like influencers up there. It's like, oh, there's so many dead bodies on Everest. Like, can you imagine the like the whoever comes along in 1,000 years and finds all of those bodies up there, like whatever alien species or like sentient race of dolphin, like, and they're just gonna see that and just want like think it was like a ritual site.
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild. I think that's much better. Or is that too bright? I don't know. This thing has like a camera. I'm like, I'm telling ghost stories in the dark. Well,
Just
that'll be.
once.
It was too bright, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just too lazy to open the curtains, so it's gonna be a dark and stormy night interview. And it's like 2:54 in the afternoon.
Well, I'm in a basement, so I'm not really sure. Is it super sunny outside, or does it look like it's gonna storm?
And it says mostly sunny in Pueblo, so it's there's some clouds out. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
that's right. You're 2 hours away from me.
Yeah. Oh, I love Pueblo. It's just so dry and thin air. It's like take me back to Florida. I just yeah, but I'm leaving on the 26th, so that's good. I got my ticket yesterday, so
Okay, cool. And you said you're heading where on the 26th?
back to Florida. Um,
Okay.
yep. So gonna do some. I think do some. Probably when I land, I'll talk to my friend. She runs a show at a gay bar called Just One More in Jacksonville, so that's where I'm landing. And so my other comic friend Kevin Tibbert, I'm not sure if you met him, but he's a Daytona Beach comic,
It's a
big
familiar
burly
name. I've
guy.
probably seen it on
Yep,
a
with a
poster.
beard.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So I'll message Tucker and see if she can squeeze us some guest spots on her show. But it's a gay bar in Jacksonville, and it's so much fun. It's like, yeah, it's wild. Like, oh man, they go just get gross, and I'm like, all right, I'm as gross. We're as good as two gross comics, so they're gonna be so much fun.
Dude, queer audiences are so much more fun than like straight presenting audiences.
Yep.
Like I don't know, they're there to kind of let loose and have fun. They get really into it. I love talking about. I have a couple of jokes in my set about like gender stuff, and like a couple that are like based on like sexuality. And it's so funny, like the different reactions in the two different rooms. Because like a straight presenting audience, I'm like they might giggle a little bit, and then like the queer audience, like they full said like they get the joke, and it's like yes, that's found my audience. Here we go for your niche.
Absolutely. And like the place we're performing at, the downtown bar, shout out to them. That's a
Mm.
queer bar, and then the last venue is also owned by queer folks called the Ethos, and like Mo Alexander from Kevin Hart's Heart of the City is going to headline that night, so it's going to be pretty awesome. And he's an ally, so
Cool.
it's gonna be so much fun with like four venues and like all free to get in, donate what you want. All the artists are gonna get taken care of, so it's gonna be a whole. It's definitely a grassroots kind of festival, music comedy and all that stuff, storytelling, improv. Because I finally put like Alphabet Soup and High and Dry in there, so it's those two games are so much fun. Like Alphabet Soup is like A is for they say apple or something, so you gotta make up a joke on the spot about an apple.
Okay. All right.
Yep. And then the other one's high and dry, where all the comedians write two topics and put it in a bucket, which is what we're going to do. And so we have to make up a set on the spot about either it's a phrase or whatever. And like, I'm not sure if you met Marcus Crespo, but we did a show at the same place, just one more, but it used to be called Nighthawks. And we did a show called Hot Topic. And that was what inspired me to do High and Dry. And my two topics were bag of raccoons and cruise ships. And so it was the most craziest set I've ever done. So
Oh,
we're gonna
that's
get wild
fun.
on the 17th. So it's gonna be wild.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I've only ever done one other set like that where it was like it was 5 minutes, no material allowed, and you either took questions from the audience or drew from a hat. And uh, I drew from the hat, and everybody else was getting like, what's the worst thing that you've done? What's something you wish more people knew about you? I got poop and STDs. Those were oh, it was
That's
fun though. Do you ever have this happen where you have like an audience member like they're funnier than you and you're not really sure if you should just hand the microphone over?
all the time. Especially in Daytona, they get pretty rowdy there, but I love that rowdy crowd. And sometimes I just like roll off of them. And like, there's this like lady that when I did alphabet soup, she just like I said A is for, and then she kept on saying, and every single letter they said, she kept on saying dirty words. And I'm like, I was trying to keep it clean. And so
That's
when
impressive.
yeah. So, and like she said A is for a hole and then B is for B hole. And then I'm like, and then I and it clicked. I'm like, all right, I'll tell the story of the time I showed my parents the classic short film called Two Girls, One Cup. And it involves an A hole and a B hole. And the crowd just loved it.
Oh, that excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Oh man, good times. So we never know what these letters are gonna be. I think that's gonna be on the 19th, because like Mo's gonna do like three shows. He's gonna do like Alphabet Soup, Loose Leaf, a storytelling show, because I loved This Is Not Happening, so that's why I call it Loose
Mm,
Leaf, a storytelling show. And then he's gonna do like 20 minutes at the Ethos, so it's gonna be a whole crazy show. Like I try to give like multiple shows per like night for the comics, so I think we have two of them back, the high and dry and the regular stand up set. So that's going to be a fun time.
good. That's
And then so
awesome.
we got off track off your bio, so we'll get back to that. So, yeah. So you blend
Point.
quirky brand, and intersectional feminism and optimistic nihilism to tell their stories. So, how did you find your voice and stand up with all those combinations?
I think it was really just that's the thing I've always been, and in having to write a bio, I had to put names to all of that. Um, I think I'm still finding my voice when it comes to stand up. I've just gone through a couple of major life changes, and the story I used to tell is a little different. I've had to like navigate like, okay, do I like have to change this the story from it being about my husband to being about my ex, or do I just write a new fucking joke? Uh, but
It,
no, I go ahead.
no, no, you had.
I was gonna say, but yeah, I think that's part of the thing is I've only been in this for 4 or 5 years now, and I'm kind of taking some time off here and there. The journey that most people have, they kind of like either you're hardcore full in it from day one, or yeah, you're a hobbyist. And I treat like I consider myself a part time full timer.
That's
I
perfect.
definitely have I have my seasons, um, but I really enjoy one of the critiques I used to get in the beginning was that I had a very TED Talk kind of style. I was very much like, here's a bunch of information, and that apparently isn't funny. So I've been having to like figure out how to evolve my message to be more, to fit the stand up venue. Um, and I also like I'm trying to be more of a storytelling comedian. Like my favorites, John Mulaney is very story based. The story, the joke is like how the thing happens, and there's a punchline, but it's a lot more of the active act outs and the voices. Maria Bamford, she's not a lot of jokey jokes. She's just talking about her perspective, her experience, and those are styles that I really like and I really kind of glean to. So, in trying to find my voice, it's sort of trying to mimic without copying and being authentic without oversharing.
Good stuff. Yeah, I love storytelling comics, and I didn't know you were just 4 and 5 years in, and like at 5 years in, that's when I discovered my voice too. So uh, it was just my friend Kevin. He was like, you say all these dirty things, but you don't say any cuss words. You're like the cleanest, dirtiest comic in Daytona Beach. And I'm like, you know what?
It's
I never noticed it, but yeah, now that you mentioned it. And then my other
it's a
friend and
rare and beautiful talent, and it is so exciting. I try not to cuss, but and like most of my theme park experience is like worn that out. But sometimes it's just it's the right word. It hits just right. But I mean, yeah, like I envy somebody who can do that, like what you do, like being able to kind of tell. Like I remember you telling this one story about your experience with a sex worker.
oh
Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
In
You
Bangkok,
know,
Thailand.
and that's about the dirtiest thing you say in the whole set.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a lot of like sex going on in that. And I was like a cuck. I'm not gonna lie, I was a cuck in that situation.
A cuck is a vital and necessary part of the ecosystem. You're a respected member of the community.
Yeah. It's like, what do I do? Do I look at them or do I not look at them? I don't even know what to do. And so I just looked at them because I didn't have nothing else to look at. So it's like a real life porno. This is amazing.
It's theater.
Yeah. Speaking of theaters, like I was talking about like this DVD that was in Australia called Puppetry of the Penis. Have you ever seen it? It's so wild.
Yes.
And like my friends were like, "We don't believe you." I'm like, here's a Google. Like, look at it. And like, watch it, rent it. I recommend it.
I used to watch it on television.
Really? They had it on
I
TV?
In Europe
Oh,
they
yep.
used to play it on I think it was Sky, which was like basically Fox of British television. And yeah, I was like, and it would always come on after dark. It wasn't just like on in the middle of the day. It's like if your kids are watching TV this time of night, you're the problem. And I was fascinated by it. I was like in high school, and it wasn't erotic. I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, this is a show. Somebody made this. These people are getting paid right now.
Wow, that's wild. That's like our BET Uncut. Like, and they have you ever seen BET Uncut? It's like they
Beat.
played all yeah BET like the Black
Oh,
Entertainment Television. Oh yeah,
yeah.
well they would play all these really naughty music videos after dark, and made me think
Mm.
of maybe that's SKY Uncut out there in Europe. But they actually showed those things. And like,
And
wow.
some of them were uncut.
Yeah, they were definitely uncut. Wow, that's so wild. I love it. And like when I did my internship in LA, like my I was the apprentice to one of the masters of horror, and I was reorganizing his entire DVD collection. And I found it. I'm like, hey, can I borrow this? He goes, yeah, sure. And then I was like surprised by the whole thing. It was just so awesome to see that people can do all that stuff with their peckers.
Did it inspire you to experiment?
No, I was like, well, that was before my Bangkok trip for sure. But like, he was like, the master of horror I'm talking about is Clive Barker. So he's, part of the
Yeah.
LGBT community. And so like, I would have to run errands in West Hollywood for him all the time. And so I was like, it made me be like accepting because like I've never seen this much gay folks in my life. Like, like I'd have to call
Wait,
it to the video.
Did you just drop that you worked for Clive Barker?
Yeah.
Holy smokes, that's wild.
Yeah, I never mention it like, because like name dropping's like pretty cheesy, but like if it's true, then it's not that cheesy. But yeah, it was like 2009 to 2013, I think.
Do you have like a favorite story from that time?
Let's see. I actually do. I was working like it was like 2009. I was just as an intern, and so like we were working on a project called Imagining Man, where he turns men into like canvases and he just paints them. And like I had to like paint rooms completely black, right? For all these set, I was the set designer, like the only one that can do all this stuff, because everyone else was busy. And my friend was like, "Don't Tom Sawyer the room. Use your whole hand and just paint the whole thing like with your hands, like." And because if I took the brush to it, it'd take forever. And it was, but yeah, and like I painted like the small room studio on the bottom, and I helped design the sets, and then I painted this big old room where the screening room was. And the crazy thing about that was like there was like a stripper pole, and like because he had one of the models was an acrobatic person, so he needed that to like train his body. And like I ended up bringing the RZA from the to the studio, and like I took him on a tour, and then he saw the stripper like that stripper pole in there. He's like, "You guys are like pretty wild up here." But yeah, it was so many crazy stories and wild stories that were just unbelievable. And I'm like, I wouldn't have changed it for the world. So it's like, and so like this Fest merch is like what I pay homage to him. Like it's like Pinhead. Um,
Oh, cool.
yep. And so yeah,
Oh, you disappeared.
I
You're a
disappeared.
brick wall.
It's a magic trick. Yeah, but I'll show it to you in person. Like it's pretty awesome. Like I matched Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, like Hunter S. Thompson with Hellraiser, because those are my
Yeah.
two inspirations of writing was Clive Barker and Hunter S. Thompson. So we just smashed the two together. And like the past couple artwork from drawn by Charlie McMullen, he's like an incredible illustrator. He pretty much like showed how Tobey Maguire hitchhikes as the Chatterer from Hellraiser, and then he gets picked up by Benicio del Toro and Johnny Depp in the convertible, and it's played by Pinhead and Butterball, and it just keeps on going and going, and it's just so wild. Yeah, we got the mango scene or the grapefruit scene in the bathroom, and they're playing White Rabbit, and in the mirror there's like a Candyman hook, and there's like a little white rabbit bunny ears by the bathtub. So it just like tells us an incredible story. So now that we're at the end, it just shows Pinhead driving away into the distance, because this is the last festival that I'm producing in Colorado, because I'm like and the last one in Daytona Beach because I'm tired. So and
You
plus
really
I
got to
want
write that book now.
yeah, I have like a memoir that I'm working on too. By the way, it's like all these journal entries from when I was like as far back as I can remember when I was a kid to like now, and so like all these crazy concert stories that I used to be a concert journalist in LA, and all the times with Clive, and my stories of all the bad times I had, good sets and bad sets, and as a stand-up comedian. So it's just I think if I will ever put it out, because it's just like it's just therapeutic. So yeah,
Yeah. That's
help get it
cool. So
all.
do
Oh, go
have you
ahead.
kept like all of your journals from like high school and stuff? Like how
No,
far
these
back does it go?
I did it before like 2 years ago, but I stopped writing in it because I was just like, I don't know why I'm writing all this stuff out. But maybe after my comedy journey ends, which is coming up soon, then I will definitely continue writing it. But I don't even know where half those journals are, so I think I have to start in the very beginning again. So I'm like, well, that wasn't meant to be, so we'll just keep it in a binder where everything's all together. So
Oh, journals are that is every time I move, that's like the hardest thing because I only ever seem to touch them when I'm moving, which is every 3 years. But I remember one time hearing, if you're a writer, never get rid of your journals. Keep everything. And maybe not everything was necessary, but I have journals going back uh probably, I mean, definitely 10 years.
wow.
Um I mean, but granted, like they're not the most consistent. Like a journal will start in 2017 and then end in 2019. So it's. it's it's something I come back to here and there, and I try to journal as much as I can. One, it's like you said, it's therapeutic. It's like I don't really understand something until I've written it down and read it back and be like, oh, that's what I'm feeling. But it's also, I mean, like I really want to go through and like go through all of my journals and pull out the pages from like important things. Like this was an important day. This was an important moment in time. Like these are the things I want to remember. And then I can get rid of the rest where it's usually me complaining about some emotionally unavailable guy. Like I don't need 1,000 pages of that.
Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. And yeah, lately I've been keeping like a dream journal because Clive has a dream journal. Yep. So like all the scary nightmares that I have, I just put it in the journal, and I'm like, maybe I can go back to horror and just like scare people with my nightmares.
Hey, I don't, not to be excited about your nightmares. Do you have a lot of nightmares?
Oh yeah, I got too many nightmares, like from regular nightmares to night terrors, and I have a joke about my night terrors because I just got to make peace with it. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, but I named my sleep paralysis demon Patrick, and every night we make whoopee.
Oh, I celebrate that. That is so much fun.
Yeah, and sometimes he ghosts me. So.
There is something about the idea of getting ghosted by your sleep paralysis demon. Like it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Where the fuck is Patrick?
Yeah, he's supposed to be here already.
Oh no,
He's probably with that horror
he'll
Demi
abandon
Moore.
me.
He's probably.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I've seen them. I've experiment. Like I've had some crazy times with them. So yeah, I definitely know they're out there. How about you?
Um, I think there are energetic presences that can be left behind. And some, like, and I think everybody, not, I don't think everything is a ghost. I think there are like, like there are constructs that are ghosts in the sense of like they are the remnants of the psychic energy of the person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think we also project a lot. So I've been so right for the before I moved, I had cats, and then I moved here, and I keep seeing phantom cats. I keep seeing the ghosts of my cats because my brain is so used to expecting them to be there that it's automatically filling in information because that's how our brains work is they're just constantly filling in information, making guesses. This whole thing is a hallucination. I'm probably in the matrix right now. But so it's like, yeah, so it's kind of like it's hard to be like, do I believe in ghosts specifically? Well, I don't want to say yes to that because then that implies I believe in a very certain way of reality working, and like, well, reality could be this physical thing and just that it, or maybe we are like like we're here on the third dimension and there's something going on in the seventh dimension, or it is the matrix and we're all just ones and zeros. It could go on. But so yes, with an asterisk.
Indeed, for sure.
But then
Awesome.
I will like. But then I will say I believe in dragons. End end sentence. Like
Yeah, I believe in them too. So you gotta learn how to train them for sure. Bringing it back
you
to
can't. Train.
Universal, I guess.
Oh God. Can I? I had this, okay. So I worked for Universal for essentially 15 years. I left just a few months before my getting hit my 15-year anniversary. And I had done puppetry with them. My big thing was I was part of some of the puppetry stuff over at Diagon Alley. And when I saw that they had the Boston Dynamics robots in costumes, and that's what they're doing, I was like, shit, if I'd held on for like 5 more years, could that have been me? Could I be working that robot? But
You never know. Maybe they can bring you back and you can continue, that add on to that, 50, make it 1520 or whatever, if you want to.
oh, I wish. I wish. No, I'm not that valuable to them. Not
Oh,
yet.
not yet. And no A. Ollie Flores. He's all the way in there. So, yeah. Yep. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so your comedy examines social expectations, relationships, gender, and nerd culture. That's a pretty cool combo. So, like, what kind of like stuff do you touch base on? Like, besides like your former spouse, and all that good
So
stuff.
yeah, so I do talk about relationships, and like using my own personal experience in my life as the lens through which I view relationships and finding the common ground in that. I like to talk about gender because it is kind of a hot topic right now, and a lot of people don't really understand what gender is. And I've been somebody who has been kind of wrestling with what is gender my whole life. I grew up in a military family, and so like there was a lot of masculinity in the community, and femininity was kind of seen as lesser, and like, okay, well, that's what you get to be, and I'm like, don't fucking limit you. Anyway, that's I will tangent on this subject. Like, hi, that's my special interest. Um, but yeah, and then I like talking about. I get sexuality because it's kind of shocking, but it's something that we're all curious about. And what comic doesn't talk about sex? It's such a common, relatable thing. And I like talking. I like opening up the concept of like there's more than the binary way of enjoying sexuality. um it's such a complex thing, and like sometimes it's connected to romantic interest, sometimes it's only about physical. Like it can fluctuate, it changes, and I don't think people really understand. They have this very rigid thinking of like what sexuality can be and isn't. Yeah, and then I like talking about like nerd stuff because I'm a nerd, I guess. Like I play a lot of board games, I'm kind of getting into video games. But I love sci-fi. You know, yeah, I have a favorite Star Trek character. And I if these are, I've written a couple of jokes that were like specifically like nerd related for, I got to do a show, at Gen Con with Tyson Cox. And then what was the other one that I did? It doesn't matter. I can't remember.
Awesome. I love all
Oh,
that stuff too. So yeah, I have a joke where I say like about gender issues. Like I always get misgendered. I wish I got Mr. Gendered.
I like that one. I like that.
It's a quick one. I have like these little quick jokes that just makes people think.
Well, and I like the
Awesome.
play
That's
on
another
that
thing
because
I'm
it's
nerd too.
like,
Like I
because
go
it
to these like
at this.
horror conventions and these comic book conventions, and I dress up as my Wu
Mhm.
Tang superhero. Oh yeah, I like to play on words too. Like I have so many puns and word plays in my sets. That's just like in callbacks. It's like, and sometimes people have to like, and then they got to focus on no cuss words, and it's so fun. Like 12 years in, they're like, you're pretty tight with your wording and everything. Yeah, I trimmed so much fat off these jokes, and I watched my very first set, and I'm like, I've only kept like two jokes out of the whole thing, and then and it's just so fun to see how it just grew from all that stuff. So. Yep. And before you
Oh
moved
yeah.
from Ohio, you were also the regular cast member at the Black Box Improv Theater. And how did you link up with those folks?
Oh, I googled Dayton, Ohio improv, and they're the only game in town. Well, there was a group. There's a group with Wileys. They're kind of freelance now. They're awesome. I am blanking on their name. I didn't mean to discredit. Anyway, that's I don't want beef. I'm a vegetarian. No. Uh, but no, I took a couple of classes with them, and I really just fell in with the community there. And I really like their teaching style. They're very they kind of work from the UCB manual, so it's this like, whereas a lot of like I think like a lot of schools are they've got like they go with this second city style, where I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm so sorry. Ugh. Um. Anyway, I did that. I start nervous talking, and then I start overthinking it. We all know how that goes. We all have
Yep.
anxiety. Um, but yeah, no. So anyway, I just really enjoyed my time there. I really enjoyed the way that they approach improv because they do long form, and it's very much focused on let's set this story, like let's make sure people know where they are, and they like who can you be with these characters, who can you how can you um add to this world with all of this. I'm putting all of this pressure on myself to speak like I'm an expert, even though I've only been doing it for 3 years.
Awesome. And I yeah, I feel you on that one. And there's so much cool like groups like UCB, Second City, all that stuff. It's like and that's why I want to kind of want to go to Chicago and check out like the improv scene there and learn from those folks because improv and stand up, sure they have beef with each other in certain scenes, but like if you can like be a hybrid, you're set. You're like, and that's why I love doing that like high and dry and alphabet soup because it makes you think on your toes and you got to make up a set on the spot. It's like incorporating improv somehow, some way, and because like there's just so many. There's RAI in Daytona Beach and like the Adventure Pro in St. Augustine, and I kind of do wanted to put like when I go back to Florida, I just want like one person of each group, like Ali Flores and stuff, and they can all like make an all stars of the different cities, and they can combine something like one member of each city. It'd be pretty rad. So I'll probably
Yeah.
do that, and so have them do like an half hour or something of improv, see what they can come up with. Yep.
Oh, that would be wild. Doing improv in a stand-up setting is so different than doing it in an improv setting. Like trying to, because like when you're doing, traditional improv, you're usually with at least one other person. So you have somebody to work with and you can kind of grow from there. Uh, Improv as stand-up is hard because it's like, okay, tell a story. Ah!
Yep.
um, but I think that's what kind of like the being able to like, okay, cool, like follow that, keep pulling the thread. Okay, like if we're gonna, you know, like for the what you're talking about with the where we're pulling from the hat, right? The top, we're talking about topics, so you're just riffing, whereas it's not like where we're trying to create a fantasy world from the topic, right?
Yep. Pretty
Yeah.
much, yep. And for some strange reason, I ended up making this like fantasy world that actually like everything tied in, like from like making Super Mario references to like Bone Thugs and Harmony and Top Gun and Oprah and Speeds and Speed Two. It's like all these things just came together from all these different pop culture universes, and I'm like, how did I pull this out of the air? This is just crazy, but it all made sense in the end. It was nuts.
That's fun though. Like, and that kind of, it's like, remember, like, it's improv. There's no rules. Like,
Yep.
you have fun. I always forget about the very crucial thing that is key to a lot of stand up is you're allowed to lie. You're allowed to make stuff up. Like, you don't have to be factually accurate about every single thing that comes out of your mouth on stage because it's a comedy show. We're not here to learn. We're here to laugh.
Yep, pretty much. Forget your problems at the door and all that good stuff. And so, and also, like, I found out that this was brand new to me that you were also skating for Gem City Roller Derby under the name Maria Jamford. So that's wild. So tell me about that.
So I did roller derby back in college, and I loved it, and it was a lot of fun. And then back in Dayton, I was doing well in the comedy scene, but I needed something else. And I was like, you know what, maybe I'll get back into roller derby. And they're an amazing team. They've actually like a couple of their players are like, like world class. Like our Anarchy Eight, Art. God damn it, they're gonna make. Okay. Anyway, they're playing for World Cup right now. The person whose name I'm butchering, Arc is just how I know her. And Angel Anarchy. I'm butchering their name. Anyway, this is not great content. But no. So they're incredible. They're an incredible team. A lot of fun, and just like something about roller derby women, and I use that term with an asterisk because we are an all gender. Well, not all gender. They're a league who is open. I'm trying about to like I don't want to make like big blanket statements and then say the wrong thing. I don't know why I'm acting like this is going to be on CNN. Like nobody's
Yeah.
fact checking us.
No.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if I mentioned I'm going through a major life change right now, and my anxiety's at like a 7 at
It's
all times.
okay. Awesome.
But yeah, no, it's a great sport. It's a great way to break your teeth if you don't. No, I we wear mouth guards. Um, and they do a lot of community stuff. I think they've got a thing going right now with oh, I just saw it the other day. You know what? You can check out more information at City rollerderby.com.
Awesome, fantastic. And speaking of getting involved in our community, for this episode, you would like to raise funds for the Colorado Rapid Response Network. And so, what made you pick those fine folks?
Well, so right now is a very everything's on fire, right? The whole world's on fire, and we are in that place of what would you have like like what would you have done in the events leading up to World War II? Well, this is a group of people who are trying to do something about that. They are a network of people and organizations that mobilize in response to ice raids specifically. Um, and they do a lot of work trying to make sure that communities are protected and informed, and fighting for we make sure people know their rights and fighting that to make sure that people still can access their rights. Um, the way I found out about them was I was driving I was driving out to go play disc golf, and I saw a mass of vehicles at the corner of it was like 56 and Pena, like over by the airport. And so there were like a bunch of white vans, and I wasn't really sure. And I was heading on my way to do something else, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna take a picture real quick, make sure that I get it out into the world. And I tagged Denver protests on Instagram. I was like, hey, can I get a signal boost? Well, they're like, before we do that, can you confirm that this is an ice sighting? Have you alerted the Rapid Response Network? And I was like, I didn't know about this thing at all. And so they're out there to help, take away from the noise. Cause like stuff like that, where it's like, oh, maybe that was just a bunch of security vehicles. Cause Eric Trump was in town that day. I had no idea. So, that's why I chose them. I think what they're doing is really important. And it's local, like I have some, I'm sure this goes out all over. People in Florida are watching it. If you can't support the Colorado, Rapid Network, I'm sure somebody out there. There's I know in Orlando, there's the Bond, the J. Why am I so bad at remembering names?
It's the
It's a
anxiety at level 7.
Thank you. It's okay. I got a therapist appointment coming up. I'm excited for therapy. Okay.
Awesome.
But yeah, no, I really, I'm glad to know that there's somebody out there doing that.
Awesome. And so, what are your upcoming shows coming up?
Well, the 17th, I'll be at Pueblo for Sarasa Fest. Oh, I
Awesome.
butchered the name. We'll get that in post.
Yeah.
And then,
It's
yeah, and then
okay.
I wouldn't, at least it's on brand.
Yes, absolutely.
And then the 19th, I'll be back in Cincinnati for the Crosstown Comedy Festival at the Comet.
Awesome. Fantastic. So definitely go check out those. And that's pretty awesome. We got like two festivals like nearly back to back. You get to go out,
Yeah.
hop on a plane and go out there. And it works out perfectly. There's so many of my friends that are also doing like my fest and like Laugh Out like Loveland Fest or something out Fest in
Yeah.
Loveland. And so it's just a really cool festival season for everyone. And so it's just a joy to see everyone like just making the world laugh, especially during when the world's on fire. And I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I know that you have like a therapy session coming up here soon. So I don't know what time the therapy session is. So what time is your therapy session going on?
Oh, that's not today.
Oh, that's not today. Oh, okay, that's good. I was like watching this interview with Redman the rapper, and he was like, if you can't afford a therapist, definitely look into shadow workers because they're like unpaid therapists. Like, and so I'm like, maybe it
Oh,
can
yeah.
be like one of those shadow, but like not a like a. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. So, but I love talking to people and like trying to figure stuff out with them. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I love
some.
doing with I used to read tarot cards. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like
Oh, for sure.
you
My
kind
friend
sometimes
Vanessa.
it's kind of like I'll be like, all right, I'll be doing somebody's cards, and they're like, what do I need? I'm like, you need to go to therapy. Uh,
I had my tarot read by my friend called her name's Vanessa Scaduto. She has like a podcast, Los Rotos in Jacksonville, and she just goes, "Do you want me to do your tarot card reading on air?" I'm like, "Sure." And then I was like, when we couldn't figure it out, I was like, maybe it's not in the cards. I just came out of me. I was like, this is being goofy. Awesome. So yeah, I was gonna do like this thing that I interviewed. Like, I'm not sure if I had ever did I ever interview you in Orlando?
no.
Okay, because like I know that I mentioned like we were doing an hour and then like an hour just flew by. So how much more time do you have left? Like,
Um, I can do like probably like another like 15.
okay, sounds good. We'll do 15 if that's all right. Awesome, because I want to be
Okay.
respectful of your time. But yeah, this is like this next part, Act Two, is like pretty much like everything that I've ever asked, all the questions for all the comics I've ever interviewed, like on my YouTube channel. So that being said, Nolan, what inspired you to perform stand-up comedy?
Oh, the class at SAC. I had always wanted to do it, but I never really thought of it as something that like could be done. It's like, yeah, I've also always wanted to like drive an F1 car around a track. That's not a thing I'm going to do. But when I took the class, I was like, oh, this is a thing I can do. This is an attainable dream.
Absolutely. And what was it feeling like when you first performed stand-up?
Oh, it was only a little terrifying. I mean, because I'd had plenty of stage experience, and so, but it kind of felt like getting up on stage and not 100% knowing my script. Um, it was at the Copper Rocket. Isaac Knotts was there. And it was an amazing time, but I was definitely like, like what you talk about, like I look back at that first video and go, oh my God, who let this person on stage?
Indeed, I love Isaac Knox. He's the best, and he doesn't even cuss during his freestyle raps and like in battles. He's just impressive.
That's he doesn't cuss in life, so I think that's how he gets around that.
Indeed, I told him like if my show gets picked up at the New York Comic Con, I want you to be on it. So hopefully I get picked up. If not, I'll end my journey at my festival in Daytona. So let's see here. And what are your favorite comedy specials, comedy record albums, and comedy podcasts?
I'll start with comedy podcasts. That's the easiest. It is the Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I absolutely, I don't because it's not necessarily a comedy podcast, but he does interview a lot of comedians, and I think it's either just the most off the walls bonkers episode, or there's usually really insightful episodes that kind of get to like the core of it. Another good one is Good Ones or Good One, and it's them breaking. I forget the surprise. I forget the guy's name. But he breaks down comedy. He brings people on and has them break down the process of like a joke that they've written. So it'll be famous people, and they'll like I think there was one. It was like oh god, I'm trying to remember. Oh gosh, this was a good one. So it was the episode. It was the episode with John Mulaney talking about the process of making the sack lunch bunch. And as somebody who I would love to have my own comedy, like do some kind of show one day, something like that. It was really interesting to hear their process. Let's see, comedy album. I hate to admit it. There was a Jerry Seinfeld album that came out in the 90s, and I had that thing on rotation. Like I went to sleep to it. I played it all the time, and it was hugely influential on me becoming a comedian and my comedy style. Um, I see. What were the other two things?
Comedy. We got podcast specials and records, comedy records.
Records. Oh, so special. Okay, so it doesn't count. I don't know if it counts as comedy, but Mike Birbiglia is the old man in the sea, or the old man in the pool.
I don't
Uh,
know. Maybe I can look it up
okay,
first. Yeah.
okay.
But I
I
love
think it's on net.
Birbiglia. What was the name of it?
The old
The
man
old
in the
man at the
pool.
sea or something. Old man in the pool.
Yeah.
It
Um,
was.
and it kind of stands between stand. It's kind of got like one foot in stand up and the other foot in one man show, like theater. Um,
Oh, cool. Yep, it's the old man in the pool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's really beautiful. It's very touching. And then I John Mulaney, I can't get enough of him. I really enjoy his style. I like the way his specials always have like this big overarching story that gets told. I mean, someday he was it the most recent one, Baby J. Ooh. It was like it's essentially just one long story, but it's made up of a bunch of little stories. And I really enjoy. I like the way he uses repetition. He gets away with some things uh, in that way, but yeah, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And yeah, I love one person shows, and I'm not sure if I can go one man, one woman. I'll just call it one person. So the whole gender thing, it's like,
Fair.
But yeah, like I love like Jamie Foxx's and John Leguizamo's and like all of his like Freak and like when he was Manny the Fanny and all that other stuff. It's just I love John Leguizamo. It was like uh, just there's just so many of them that he's done. It's like I hope he never stops doing those one man shows or one person shows.
Did you watch Leguizamo's? It was like the it was a Latin history
Yep, yep, I've seen that
special.
one. Yeah,
Oh,
he's so good. Yep, and I loved him in like House of Bug and like Tu Wong Fu and all that other stuff. He's just so talented.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Sorry, I just broke something.
It's okay. And speaking of all those folks, they've also been on TV and film. And like, what are your favorite sitcom, sketch shows, and comedy films?
Okay, sketch shows. I grew up on Kids in the Hall, In Living Color, Mad TV, SNL. Um, I really got to shout out Astronaut Club. I think that's a really underrated sketch show. It's an all persons of color cast, and they just have a lot of fun with it. Um, it was sketch shows, sitcom. I I'm going back through um, uh, 30 Rock right now, and it's a classic for a reason. Um, but I'm really excited. I just saw that they put Community back on Hulu, so I'm going to start streaming that soon.
Awesome.
Oh gosh, yeah, Dan Harmon, man. I didn't realize like like his life started so far before Rick and Morty. You know, that was kind of like my introduction. And it's like, oh, if you like Rick and Morty, you got to see this. Oh, did you know he did this? My partner just got me into listening to his podcast, Harmontown, and it's a real insight into the tortured artist mentality. Let's see, what were the other medias?
Comedy films, and we covered sketch shows and comedy sitcoms, I believe. And so, yeah, sitcoms and comedy films.
Gosh, comedy films. You know what? I just saw Friendship with Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd yesterday, and I can't wait to see it again. I saw so many like people asking on Google, like, is it a comedy or is it a horror? Because you can't really tell from the
The trailer.
thank you, that's the word. Jesus Christ.
Anxiety level 7.
I guess. Holy smokes, I got a Swiss cheese brain. That was called. Uh, but yeah, it's very much like it is the darkest comedy. It is a I think you should leave sketch that goes on for 90 minutes, and was given a budget that was appropriate and said, "Have fun, go weird," and they did.
Gosh, I
Yeah.
need to watch that now. I was meaning to go watch it in St. Augustine, but I was like, I just had to save money and to get to Colorado. I'm like, if I wasn't pinching every single penny, I'd definitely go watch it in a movie theater. But hopefully, it's still out in movie theaters. Is that on streaming now or just in movie theaters?
I think it is on streaming, but I think it's like streaming that you have to pay for. It's not like, so I guess it's like pay to rent.
Oh,
But yeah,
that
that's good.
happens. Yep. Well, that happens a lot on Amazon. So, well, I'm glad I don't pay for any of that stuff. It's all my dad's. It's like, thank God.
Boycott Prime Day. Sorry, you said Amazon.
Indeed, Prime Day for sure. And let's see here. If you can go on tour with any comedian locally and internationally known, which comics would you like to go on tour with?
Oh gosh. That's okay. We're gonna shoot big. Okay, so I would in no particular order again, John Mulaney, Stephen Hofstetter, just because he does such an incredible job of supporting other comedians. Um, oh my gosh, if I could spend like a weekend in a van with Maria Bamford and Jackie Cation, I would die happy. Um, but yeah, and if I could, I would love to pick some like, dude, I would love to go on a tour with the the people I used to do a lot of comedy with back in Cincinnati. Hang on, do you ever hold your breath so long that you have to exhale or breathe in before you can exhale?
Yeah. Sometimes I get lightheaded when I pull up the weeds. I'm like, oh no, I'm getting dizzy. I'm lightheaded. I
I
shouldn't be
forget to
pulling.
breathe through my nose. Like there's a whole other thing here. You can use both holes. It's fine.
Yeah.
But no, so Kate Mock Elliott, Cece Laird, oh god, don't hate me, ladies. Whitney Dunn, Faith Isaac. She knows her name. It's long. No, Faith Isaacs gets some anyway. Lisa Parker. Who else is in that group? Oh god, oh they're gonna hate me. Um, it would be really fun to do a tour with um, uh, I'm just going to keep naming names until you stop me. I would, gosh, I know this isn't like what you're asking, but I also really want to work for Dropout.
Oh,
Can't tell if you're frozen or
I've
confused.
never heard of Dropout. So,
Okay, so Dropout used to be College Humor. Now they're
oh,
Dropout.
maybe
They're,
College Dropout with Kanye about it. I think it might.
hello?
Maybe the Ghost. Awesome. And yeah, let's see here. If you can get roasted by five comics that are alive, which five comics would you like to get roasted by?
Oh gosh, five comics that are live. Martin Short. Would love to get roasted by Martin Short. Holy smokes. That man can tell you to go to hell in a way that makes you
Awesome.
excited to go there. Conan O'Brien would probably be unhinged and be mostly confusing, but I think it would be a lot of fun. And Kevin Rupert from back in Dayton. He is fantastic roaster. He's very deadpan style, but he's got a kind of a smirk and a quirk to him, and he's got a really sharp wit on that. And he did roast me a little bit one time. Something about God, I was wearing? I can't remember it. It was good though. It was a good burn.
Awesome. So we got like less than a minute left, and so we'll just like lightning round these last ones. And let's see
We
here.
can.
If you, what
It
do
was
you?
a soft 15. We can keep going.
Okay, sounds good. So what's your where do you see your comedy during the next 5 years?
Um, get up to feature. I would like to get myself to a place where I've got anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes that I can reliably sell to a venue and get myself booked on some stuff. I'd love to do an improv tour, or a sketch, get more into sketch. I was just starting to kind of tap into the sketch program in Black Box before I left. Um, and it'd be nice to have a book to sell. Not to make everything about money, but it would be nice to have something. It's like that's the end goal, right? Is to like have like a thing. Like I made a thing, and now you can pay me for it.
Yep, indeed. Good stuff. And let's see here. What's your favorite joke a comic has written?
Oh, I hate this question. Um, let's see. What's my favorite joke a comic has written? I would say probably Maria Bamford's joke about she was talking to like a therapist or a life coach, and oh no, it was one of the cults. Anyway, she's talking to this like like life coach kind of person, and the person is like, don't you want to maximize your potential, because she's being reluctant to all the things that the coach is saying. I'm killing. um and she's like, yeah, like, don't you want to like maximize your potential? She's like, yeah, like maximizing my potential sounds great, but it really cut into my sitting around time. That joke has lived with me from the day I heard it.
Awesome. We can all relate to that for sure. And so, where do you see, or what experience would you like your audience to take with them after your set is over?
I would like them to learn something about themselves that maybe they hadn't realized before. Um, I like to hope that maybe see something in a perspective that they hadn't seen before, um, or at least feel like they've walked away, with a sense of like not like being seen, but I guess yeah, like kind of like like they're not alone in the world. Um, I would love to, yeah, have a comedy community and have like a world where like people come and see the shows because they feel like they're being talked to in a way that comes from their perspective, and they can kind of connect. Like everybody in this room is laughing at this joke. That means we all understand it and we all agree with it.
Most F. Awesome. And so let's see here. And the next part of the show is called, it's a secret stand-up, it's a stand-up speakeasy. It's a secret society of stand-up comics. So, and you've been part of the Ohio scene, the Florida scene, and now the Colorado scene. With that being said, which five comics would you like to see on a future episode of the stand-up speakeasy?
Oh gosh, I would love to see Katie Bowman. She's a Denver comic and powerhouse. She runs a couple of like just really fantastic shows. She's got Sushi High every Thursday. That's a killer showcase. Um, who else would I would like to see? I would like to see Layla Ingalls. I know she does a lot of podcasts, but like it'd be cool to see kind of something a little bit more um, insightful. I feel like this has been really insightful, and you asked really good questions. See, we're doing five. I don't know. Have you had Zach Bennett on yet?
I'm not sure. Maybe a couple of different versions of the show, but yeah, I had him
Oh,
on a couple of times. We go way back, so yeah.
I bet. I was like, yeah, like with his was it as a reasonably afraid is him and Ben, or
Yep,
no, Ray.
Ray. Yep, and
Yeah.
he's always shouting me out whenever there's like a Clive, whenever he makes a Clive Barker reference. He's always shouting me out on that show, which is really sweet of him. Yeah,
Oh, that's tight.
yeah.
Let's see. Actually, yeah, Kevin Rupert from Dayton would be cool. Him or Mike Shea, they're both really involved in the scene. Kevin Rupert, Dayton comic, been in the game for a while. Opened up his own comedy club and really gave the community something to. Because we had this place called Wiley's, and it was like the oldest comedy club in Ohio. Recently shut down because anyway. And but so when he opened up Brickies, it's a comedian run, and comedian owned. And it's this is the cool little spot in Miamisville, and he really just gave us something to kind of like come together and believe in. And he actually, uh, not single handedly, it was a whole bunch of us working on it. But we did last year. We did a an attempt at the world's longest consecutive running comedy show. So we did. God, what was it? It was like 70 hours of stand up, or I don't remember. It was wild. It was a long amount of time. Um, that'd be cool. And then Mike Shea has been in the game for a while too. He ran the what's it called? He runs the Gem City Comedy website. So again, another community leader, brings us all together, and makes sure that he's also runs the Discord, makes sure that everybody's up to date. Everybody's got a chance to know like what's going on in the scene, and a great platform to advertise. So all right, cool. So we're up to 4. Um, let's see. There's so many good ones. I have to think this long. They must not be that good. I don't know, Sammy Anser. I just discovered him out here, and he's kind of halfway between Denver and New York. He kind of does work in both towns, but he's a lot of fun. He's a funny guy, and he's got a bright personality, bright spirit. I think that'd be a really good person to bring on just to learn some more about.
Yep, I love Sammy. I met him over at
Oh,
the Highlands Comedy Festival, and I did the open
yeah.
mic with him at the Mutiny. And he saw my Fest shirt, and he goes, "Charlie drew that, didn't he?" I'm like, "Yep." So yeah, that's how we connected. And I met like Mark Masters there too, and like I bombed so hard at the Mutiny open mic one time. Like I gotta go back for redemption, and so I got my redemption at the Highland Plains Comedy Festival open mic. Oh man,
Oh man.
I love getting revenge on those rooms that were mean to us prior. It's like I got you back, you bastard. Oh man, but yeah,
Oh, that's
and I
funny.
love what he's doing now with like the art galleries and stuff. So and the comedy combining the two, so that's pretty neat. But yeah, so definitely and yeah, so we can see Nolan over at Fest on or July 17th. And then I'm mixing my two festivals. I'm like, no more festivals. And then we'll see at Crosstown Comedy Festival in Ohio on the 19th.
Yep.
So yep, good stuff. And
Yay.
my future dates are just Fest. I'm just gonna plug that 17th, 18th, and 19th. We got the Downtown Bar first night, Smitty's Green Light Tavern on the second night, Presley's during the afternoon, and then the on the 19th, and then following it at the Ethos. So, and it's gonna be music, comedy, storytelling, improv, all that jazz. It's gonna be a wild 3 days. And it's free to get in. And also shout out to Kwan's Kitchen and K Nails and Spa and Chico. Those are my sponsors and all that good stuff. Any final words for yourself, Nolan?
If you want to follow with what I'm doing, best places are Instagram and Threads, at Nolan Kreeger, just as it's spelt. And yeah, be kind to each other.
Absolutely. And I put all your information on your Instagram on the bottom and your website too. And don't forget to donate to the Colorado Rapid Response Network on behalf of Nolan too. So, and for everyone else, see you at the next episode of Stand Up Speakeasy. You'll have to help me out with all the other spellings of the comics that you nominated too, because I'm horrible with spelling names. Because my name's not very common. I misspell my name all the time. I put safety when it autocorrects itself. Awesome.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Nolan, for being my guest. You rock, and I can't wait to see you on the 17th. It's going to be a whole lot of fun.
you too, Sarah, man. All right, see you then.
Take it easy. Be well.
Bye.
Bye. Take it easy. Oh, and I forgot to end the stream, and that should do it. All right. Have a good night. Be well. Take it easy. Are you going to end or what? End stream.